Hi. It's been a couple weeks since I filmed, and I really wanted to start a new project. I was really sick and wasn't able to film because I just didn't feel well. I wasn't up for it. So I did start my jaunty spin so that I could join the Andrea Mowry jaunty make along. Um, So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm hoping this will become a project vlog from start to finish. Unfortunately, I did not film myself prepping the fiber. So that's kind of what I'm going to walk you through right now is how I prep my fiber for this spin. But in the meantime, let me show you what it's looking like. So I spin only on my starling. It's a dataless starling. It has a 12 plus ounce bobbin. I got this thing 3 years ago, almost, at Maryland Sheep and Wool. Not last year, not the year before, but the year before that. So I love this. I'm trying to spin this at a, hopefully what's going to be a DK weight. Obviously, you can see it's quite thin right now, but it's BFL. This fiber is BFL, and I'm going to chain ply it. So I'm hoping I'm going to get at least a plump sport. So what am I doing? I have taken 2 braids of the same fiber, BFL, and I'm striping them together. So sorry for the crinkles. They look like this. This one is Bruiser, and this one is Clockwork. So I thought that they had similar undertones and that they would look really nice together. Someone told me that this spin looks like an oil spill, and I loved that. So how I went about this, I'm sorry if you hear commotion outside. My neighbors had a tree fall like a foot away from their house, and they're getting it cleaned up. So I'm trying to film in the holes in them cutting up the tree. Okay. So this is a braid of the same. Oh, let me get this out. This braid is made by the same person that dyed these. So let me show you the labels first. This is Boss Kitty Floof in the color Clockwork. And in the color Bruiser. So, like I said, these 2 are Floof, which is 100% BFL. This one is Super Floof, which I believe is merino, and silk. So the fiber content's a little bit different, but for this demonstration, I think it will do just fine because it's skeined up there or braided up the same way. So it comes in these braids. And what I did for this spin is I took it out of the braid. I'm sorry if my voice is a little scratchy. I'm still recovering. I have never been this sick in my entire life. It was awful. All right, so I take it out, and then lengthwise, I fold it in half. From here, I'm just going to draft this part apart as best I can. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but now I have 2 lengths of similar sizes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one and split it in half again. So you just have to find the staple length, and then it'll pull apart really easily. So you got to kind of draft it farther apart for like a BFL that has a longer staple length. This is coming apart pretty easily. And then I'm going to just do that to the other side. So now I have 4 lengths that are approximately 1 ounce each, because it's a 4-ounce braid. So I've got 4 little lengths. What I did then was I kind of just saw where the fiber wanted to split, and I pulled it apart into 3 pieces. So, and then I really tried to pull apart the end pieces, because that's the hardest part, right? Is drafting those little end pieces. So I split these braids lengthwise into 3, and then I just rolled them up. It didn't have to be perfect. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting thinner pieces, because I wanted to stripe the braids together. I wanted an actual stripe. And because I'm chain plying, I'm able to preserve those stripes exactly how I want to. So let me just do one more. So I'm left with these little nuggets. And I did that for both of the braids. So I ended up with 12 little butterflies of fiber. And I just decided to alternate between the 2 colors. So I picked out a Bruiser, and then I would do a Clockwork. And I just kept alternating through them. So right now I have, 4 left of each color in my little bags. And I just finished a Clockwork, so I'm ready for a Bruiser. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to just keep spinning. Sorry if you can't see this. Keep spinning up until I get 8 ounces on this bobbin. From there, what I'm going to do is create a ply ball, and then I'm going, which will have my chains already in it, and I'll walk you through that process too. And then I will ply it up. I'm looking for a looser ply than I generally spin. So I'm gonna drop my speed down when I'm plying and really like take my time with it. So this might take a little bit of time. Generally, I just roll through my chain plies, but I want to make sure that this has a looser ply, because 1, I spun my singles quite tightly, and 2, I want it to be squishy because it's going into the Jaunty Shawl. So I really want to make sure that it's comfortable to wear. I don't wear shawls, but I'd like to try. And 8 ounces of a sport to a DK should give me a pretty good size shawl. And what's really nice about this is it's going to be just one big skein of 8 ounces of fiber. Hopefully I won't have any breaks, and I'll just be able to knit through, and that will really reduce my ends. So that's the prep part, and I'm really excited to see the finished yarn, because I do think it's going to be really, really nice. It's colorful without leaving my realm of comfortability, because it's very muted, earthy. Excited to see how this is going to spin up. Hopefully I'll put in some clips of me spinning. Generally I spin on my couch, which makes it kind of hard because there's not really a place to put you on my couch, but we'll see. I'll try and get something in there. Okay, bye. Hi friends! So I did get my single spin for the Jaunty along finished. I wanted to show you guys, just pop on here for a couple seconds, show you what the singles are going to look like, and then we're letting these rest for a couple more days, and then we're going to take this, make a ply ball, a massive 8-ounce ply ball, and spin this up on the wheel. So I'm going to take you along with me while I do this, and I'm so excited to see the final yarn. It's going to be so squishy. I can already feel it. I just love BFL. It's so spongy, so not spongy, but like squishy. It's just so nice. And it's going to plump up really, really great. I tried to spin this thicker than my default, so I'm hoping for a thick sport to a DK weight, but we'll see. First things first, this is my Lazy Kate. So you might be thinking, like, what does this do? This is what I'm going to put my bobbins on, and they're going to spin freely on this. So I have the Acreworks Lazy Kate. It works perfect for my dataless bobbins, but I'm sure any Lazy Kate you could do this with. So I'm going to put it right here, make sure it's in frame. I'm going to pull up 2 of these. So the way I like to do it is I put the bobbin with the singles that I'd like to ply on this side, break band up, and then I use these little spongy things to hold it in place. And then I take another bobbin. It doesn't have to have anything plied on it. I just have this one and it is plied. And I put that here. And then I also put the little, I'm not sure what these things are called, but they're kind of like brakes. Okay, so I want these to be able to spin pretty freely. Okay, let's see. You guys have a good view. Next off, I'm going to go grab my base. So now I'm ready to get started with my ply ball, and I use these little Kong dog balls. They're little squeaky dog balls. I'm not going to squeak it because my dog loves these things, and I try and keep these away from her. These are my Plying balls, but she doesn't understand the difference. So I take this, and I take my, let me make sure I'm in frame again. Okay. I'm going to take my single, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a loop. And so how I do this is I make a knot. You don't have to do this. It's just my personal preference. Okay. So, oops. Okay, so now I have a loop. Hopefully you can see that. I have a loop from my single. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take my hand and pull up a single from that loop. And I can make it as long as I want, but let's just say we're going to go with that. From here, I'm going to pull it back as far as I want to, make my chain, take off the loop, grab another loop, and place it around the break band of my other bobbin. Now I can pull this back as far as I want to, and I'm going to wind it up. So now that you've seen it up close, let me change the angle so you can see it, the whole thing. And we're going to take the loop off of the break band of the other bobbin, pull up a new loop, place it around that break band. Are we serious? Okay. Spit splicing my single back together. Was not plied enough. Got lazy towards the end. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking the loop off of the brake band, pulling up a new loop of my single, placing that onto the brake band, and then I can just pull this single back as far as I want to make my chains as long as I want. And then I wrap around this ball, keeping tension, and just repeat that process over and over and over again. I hope that my hair was not in this mic. I don't know if you can see me, but I wanted to pop back on here in a different setting so I could truly show you how I'm doing this and you get the full effect. Unfortunately, I don't think my last video was doing exactly what I wanted it to. So this camera's crooked. Let me fix it. Okay. And I'm going to turn the mic off because we don't need it after I explain exactly what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. I'm going to clip this onto my water bottle. My ply ball here. It is, this is approximately 4 ounces of fiber. I'm about halfway through, a little bit more actually, because I've been counting the stripes. And I want to walk through the process of this one more time. So once I get to this point where I'm back to my lazy Kate, I take the loop that's on my brake band and pull a new loop from my singles off of it. Place it around the brake band, and now I'm going to walk backwards. I start wrapping my singles all together, all 3 plies, around my ball, making sure there's no pigtails. Well, let's do it again. Take off that loop that's on the brake band, pull up a new loop from my singles, place it around the brake band, and I just slowly walk back, and that's creating my chain. I've almost run out of blue on this stripe. What I'm going to do now is try and keep this chain mostly blue, but introduce the purple on like 1/3 of it. So 1 ply of it's going to be purple. To keep these, there's a transition chain. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I'm trying to do. So let's see. Here's purple already. So this is perfect. All right, and then my next chain is going to just be completely purple. I know I don't have my mic on, but I'm only going to talk for a minute. I have, a yarn ball here, and inside I have this absolutely massive ball. Stay. This is my ply ball. I know you can't really see it because the light is bad, but it's just a ball with all three of my plies, my singles, together, and it makes up what, oh, ouch, funny bone. It makes up what I'm gonna spin. So I just wanted you to see what I'm doing. I'm putting this ball in and I'm grabbing this. So essentially all the work is done. All I have to do is run this through my spinning wheel to ply it. Okay, so this is gonna go off to the side. You won't be able to see it, but it's there, I promise. And now I'm just gonna run this through. It's not spinning as freely as I want it to. Go back. Right now I'm just checking my ply, making sure it looks loose, but yet still properly plied. Maybe I can bring you closer. And it is curling up on itself, which I do want a little bit of excess energy. So this is not a problem.
I'm getting started on my work day, which, boo. But I just pulled my finished yarn from where it was drying, and I'm so happy with it. So it's got a pretty neutral twist to it. I didn't overspin it. A lot of the times I will overspin and my yarn will twist around itself after drying, and I didn't get that with this, so I did manage what I set out for. I would say I didn't quite hit a DK, but it's a sport. It's a nice plump sport. There is some thick spin, or thick thin. There's a couple pigtails that I saw like this. So I was not very careful here, and that does upset me, but it's okay. I only saw 2, which is decent out of 8 ounces, but I'm overall very pleased with this. I love the colors. I have no idea if I'm going to cake this up right away or if I'm just gonna touch it for a couple more days. It's so soft, it's so squishy, which is what I'm finding with BFL. I prefer to not ply it so tightly, and I'm getting a much nicer feeling yarn to work with. The BFL that I have done in the past, I've done sock weight with a very high twist because I wanted to use it for socks or for something with a lot of wear, and I find the experience of spinning to be very nice. I like the final yarn, but when knitting it up, it is a bit ropey, which is not what I wanted for a shawl. And so I'm just overall really pleased with this. So after the last clip that you've seen, I ended up ripping it out. I cast on with a 3.5mm needle because I had convinced myself that it was a sport weight yarn. Gaslit myself. It's not a sport weight. This is a fingering weight yarn, and it's a thin fingering at that. It's so how do I explain this? So when I spin short forward, generally
I pack my fibers a little bit denser. So that was what I was going for with this VFL. But for whatever reason with VFL, I spin it so sparsely, which is why I resorted to a short forward versus a woolen. And I still ended up with just like the thinnest thing you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, I ripped it out. I cast it back on with a 3mm needle. These are the needles from hell that just unscrew constantly. I don't know. But they're my only 3mm needles. So we're going to just go with it. And here is the front side because I keep showing you the back. I think that the color change is really, really nice. And obviously they'll keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter until they're just like little mini stripes towards the center. This is a quick update on the Jaunty. This is what the skein is looking like now. So it's quite a bit smaller. Let's weigh it. 113 grams. So I'm about halfway through, which is good because I just started my decreases. I'm super happy with it. Let me see. Can you see the micro striping? I think it looks so nice. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have this. Show you a close up of the stitches. I think it looks pretty good for handspun. I've never done half fisherman's rib before, and I have to say I really enjoy the stitch. I like it a lot. Hi everybody, today is March 3rd, and I'm popping on here to make excuses. No, but for real, I just need to chat this out. I'm having a weird day, having a lot of like self-doubt, knitting doubt, just not a great feeling, and I am gonna talk about it. Excuse me. This is what I have left. It's about 25 grams. And I'm knitting about 10 grams of this a day, which does not seem like a whole lot. Sorry, I'm slipping the edge stitches and my yarn likes to unply itself. So let me hold this up. Yeah, I'm knitting about 10 grams a day, which seems crazy low, but it's so thin. And it's taking forever in this stitch pattern. I've never knit half fisherman's rib before, and I don't know why it's taking me as long as it is. I also not underplied. It's a very balanced yarn, but I spun this way less tightly than I normally do, so my yarn is splitting, so that's also slowing me down. But anyway, that's not what I got on here to say. Well, I did want to give you an update, but I am competing in a sock knitting competition. It's called Sock Madness. If you have never heard of it before, you might be like, what are you even talking about? It is a bracket style elimination sock knitting competition hosted internationally. It's hosted online. It also means that between now and 48 hours, the pattern will drop and I will probably not be finished with my Jaunty. And I have a lot of feelings about that. I feel like I should be done by now. I feel like I should be able to knit more than 10 grams a day. I feel like I am letting myself down. What? There's plenty of people that are like still spinning for this. It's actually crazy, but in my head, I just feel like I have not done enough. I have not been fast enough. I have not been productive enough. And it's kind of bumming me out. I know that knitting is fun, and I do this for relaxation and to keep my mind healthy and busy while I relax at the end of the day. But sometimes it also stresses me out. And sometimes I feel like I don't stack up. And it's a terrible place to be mentally, because it's all in my head. And I know it's all in my head. But at the same time, I can't seem to help it. Like, this truly is how I feel. So that's where I'm at. I do really love this. Look at these stripes. I hope that you can see that color. Oh, is that the wrong side? It is the wrong side, sorry. I really do love this. And for my first time knitting half fisherman's rib, it has been relatively enjoyable until right now, right this second. I'm feeling pretty down because I know I'm probably not going to be able to finish before the first sock of Sock Madness, like first round sock drops, which is so stupid. But again, can't help the way I feel. This is how I'm feeling right now. And I really want to knit things that are bringing me joy. And I feel like I can't cast anything on until this is done. And I can't finish this until my Sock Madness socks are done. I don't know. I'm just putting unnecessary pressure on myself. At the same time, things are happening on my computer, so I should probably go look and see what those are. But thanks for listening to me kind of freak out, crash out about knitting. Hi. Today is Wednesday, March 4th, and I have a finished Jaunty. I'm so excited. I really, really wanted to get this done before my next sock and Sock Madness dropped, and I was able to. The light is terrible in here, and I do apologize just because that's how it goes when it's gray and dreary out. But I'm gonna get this blocking, and we'll do like a final recap and some B-roll of it flapping in the wind. Well, maybe not flapping in the wind, but we'll get some B-roll of it, and it's done. Hi everyone. My Jaunty is finished. It's flocked. It's just glorious. I think this is my favorite way to style it, but we'll try out a couple different things. I'm definitely never going to wear it like as a shawl. It's not big enough for that. But I think it makes like a cute little cow. So what is this? This is the Jaunty Shawl. If you've made it this far, you already know. It is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. This is made out of my Handspun, which was 2 braids of 100% BFO in 2 different colors that I striped together. I used a 3.0 millimeter needle. It is knit from point to point. So you cast on a small number of stitches, increase out to the midpoint, and then start your decreases. So just a traditional triangle shawl, I believe is the shape they call this. And it being my first shawl, I didn't know what to expect, but it was overall a pretty enjoyable knit. I had like a little dip a couple days ago, but I am super happy to have this in my wardrobe. I'm still playing around with styling because I really don't wear scarves or shawls or anything like this. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. How would I rate the pattern? The pattern is perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with Andrea Mowry patterns. It's nothing special, but it's also written well. So I would give it a 4.5. How would I rate my execution of it? I think I would also rate my execution a 4.5 out of 5. It's handspun, so it makes it a little bit more special to me. I love all of my handspun, and I think I did a very good job with this. Now, do I wish I would have spun it what my original, like I wanted a sport or a DK weight? I'm sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. Give me 1 second. Ugh. I originally wanted a sport or a DK weight. That would have made this way more enjoyable for me than knitting this in a fingering weight. But you know, I am at the mercy of my spinning, and I spun this too thinly. I will say I did make a modification because I was running out of yarn, and I used pretty much every single inch of yarn that I had. I had 2 grams left at the end. The last 6 decreases, I actually did, instead of doing 8 rows, it's an 8-row repeat, I did a 6-row repeat because I was afraid I was running out of yarn. And I don't think that you can really tell. Let's take this off. Give me 1 second. There's going to be crinkling, so I'll mute this. I did spin the first half of my yarn a little bit thicker, and I was running out of yarn pretty quickly. So as you can see, even with those last 6 decreases, eliminating 2 rows from them, I don't think that it really affected it at all. Like, it's just as long. And I don't think anybody's going to really notice that this side's a little bit thicker than this side, but it's okay. I was trying to make this work as a hood, and I don't think that we're gonna get there. What is my hair doing? Like, it looks weird with the point. Like, I don't think this is a vibe. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll wear it like this, but I just can't see myself like tying it or anything like that. So I don't know. If you have any suggestions on how to wear this, please let me know. I'm not sure. I will pop in a picture or a video of it outside in the sunlight for you guys to see. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you are working on a jaunty, you want any advice or just want to chat through it, please let me know as well. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Happy crafting.